Okay, B'siyata Dishmai, we're going to continue the gates of the Baal Shem Tov. We are on day 4, and we have a little introduction. We're going to be talking about who is the Rebbe of the Baal Shem Tov. Where did he get all of these Torahs? So the Toldot Yaakov Yosef says in Parashat Balak, Achia Shiloni, shekibel mi Moshe Rabbeinu alav Hashalom. Achia Hashiloni is a person in the Tanakh. He was one of the students of Moshe Rabbeinu. He was one of the people that left Egypt. And afterwards, he was in the Beit Din of David HaMelech. And afterwards, he was the rabbi of Eliyahu Navi. And then he was revealed again as the Rebbe, the teacher of the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh. Right? So most people have revelations of Eliyahu Navi. The Baal Shem Tov was receiving his information from the Rebbe of Eliyahu Navi, who was also on the Beit Din of David HaMelech, and was also one of the main students of Moshe Rabbeinu that walked out of Egypt with Moshe. That's where this information is coming from. Avodat Hashem, we're going to continue our learning in the approach of the Baal Shem Tov. And here we have an amazing thing. Mikodam Rabbi Yisrael Baal Shem Tov, before the Baal Shem Tov, the way of serving Hashem was by way of fasts and hardships. And that was from the world of tohu more, in the world of chaos. These are the lights of everything's mixed up, everything's backwards in the world. There's no rectification to be done. So separate yourself from the world. But by way of the revelation of the soul of the Baal Shem Tov, there started to be an illumination of the world of tikkun, the world of rectification, the world of beautification, the world of coming together. And the need for affliction wasn't needed so much. And it's a different type of work on a much higher level, focusing on bringing down the lights of chesed, the lights of loving kindness more, than pushing away the lights of gvurot, the lights of hardships and dinim and this world. So the Baal Shem Tov, from the time his soul came into the world, there's a transition of how do we serve Hashem. It used to be that we push away negative things, we push away negative things, we push away negative things. From the time of the Baal Shem Tov, we pull down good, we pull down good, we pull down good. We focus on the good. The way of the Baal Shem Tov, once they asked the Baal Shem Tov, what is the main avodah? What is the main work that a Jew has to do in his life? We heard from our rabbis and from our forefathers that it used to be back in the day that people of stature, people of a high level, they would fast from Shabbat to Shabbat. And you, the Baal Shem Tov, you said not to do this. That you said, the Baal Shem Tov said that in the future, everybody who fasts is going to have to pay. It's going to be a punishment for the fast. Because he's called a sinner for fasting. Because he's afflicting his soul. So if that's the case, this is how it was back in the day. You're saying we're going to get in trouble for continuing that path. So what's the path? Rabbeinu, Baal Shem Tov, please tell us. The Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh answered him. My opinion, my approach to this, that a person should make sure to pull down on himself these 3 different types of love every day. What are they? The love of Hashem, blessed be He, the love of Am Yisrael, every single Jew, the love of the Torah. And you don't have to do any afflictions. That would be enough. Focus on bringing down those 3 loves every day and you'll be okay. Now we're going to learn about the mikveh. The Baal Shem Tov said that he merited to all of the lights and all of the levels that he had. Everything was because of the mikveh. That he was very careful to go to the mikveh a lot. He always went to the mikveh. And going to the mikveh consistently is better than any fast you could ever do. Again, it goes back to that root of don't stop yourself from doing good and stop yourself from doing bad. Do good. Just focus on doing good. Going to a mikveh is more powerful than a fast. And the ta'anid machlishat guf me'avodat Hashem. The fast will make your body weak from serving Hashem. And it's better than instead of putting all of that energy and that power that you need to put into the fast, it would be better that you put that same energy that is going to take you to fast into learning Torah and into praying and to pray with all of your might and to pray with all of your strength. And from that, you'll come to a higher level. One time, the Rav Moshe Zvil, Zichron Levacha, said, in the name of his father, Rav Yechiel Michal Mizlachov, that he heard from the holy mouth of the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov said like this: Pa'alti etzel Hashem yitbarach. I made a deal with Hashem. I made it happen that Hashem agrees. שהטבילה שאדם טובל את עצמו במקווה בבוקר יהיה נחשב לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא כמו תענית יום אחד. The Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh said in front of Rav Michael Mizlachov, he heard it himself. The Baal Shem Tov said, I made a deal with Hashem that the mikveh that a person goes to in the morning will count as if he fasted for a day. We have here a promise from the Baal Shem Tov. When you wake up in the morning and before you start your Avodat Hashem, before you start your day, you go to the mikveh, that counts as if you fasted a day. So you don't need to fast. You don't need to afflict yourself and weaken your body. No. Go, do something good, do something productive. The Baal Shem Tov was very careful in making people cautious of the importance of netilat yadayim, of purity of the hands, and also in the idea of purity of the mikveh. And the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh made it that going to the mikveh every single day should be a practice. Because it's very it's very auspicious to bring a person to purity, like a fast. And he said like this, I'm not going to read the Yiddish, but that is essentially what we just learned. I made it be that by Hashem, when a person goes to the mikveh every single day, it's as if he fasted that day. It counts as a fast that day. Every day that you go to the mikveh, it's as if you fasted on that day. What does that mean? As if you rectified yourself, as if you purified yourself, as if you afflicted yourself in order to come close. It counts. That mikveh also has the same power to bring you close to Hashem, from a side of positivity, not from a side of negativity. And the student said, the Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh had immense joy, immense simcha when he was able to make something happen in Shemayim, because now they won't need to weaken the body anymore with fast and with afflictions. Just by way of going to the mikveh, they will have a power inside of a person to sanctify and to purify themselves, just as if they did a few fasts, right? As if they went through a few fasts, you can do that just by way of going to the mikveh. And what is the reason that the Baal Shem Tov made it so much like this? Itasfut HaChaverim, coming together, gathering as friends. It was known in the Baal Shem Tov, everything was with friendship, for bringing, sitting together, itva'adu, talking, playing music, singing igunims, the achdut, the friendliness, the brotherhood. Why was that so important? Because by way of that unity, a person is able to purify himself and to rectify himself from all the different types of tuma and pollution and impurity that there is in the world. Just like a mikveh brings purity, so too being together with friends brings purity. One last little one. A person does not have to run away from pleasure in this world. When he has some kind of pleasure, he just has to tap into the right energy, the spirituality behind it. It says in Keter Shem Tov. Keter Shem Tov is a collection of all different teachings from the Baal Shem Tov. It says there, a person should always be attached to spiritual pleasure. And even when he has a pleasure of the pleasure of the time, let's say a Shabbat or a Yom Tov, a holiday, he still has to be connected to the spiritual pleasure that's inside that Shabbat. It's not just the Shabbat. There is this kernel of spiritual pleasure inside there that you want to tap into. That is the vitality of the thing. That is the life of the thing, and not the physicality of it, right? Shabbat is not about just having 3 meals and showing up to synagogue. That's the physicality of it. But what are you meant to be doing when you experience those meals? What are you meant to be doing when you go to pray? You're meant to be on fire and connecting to Hashem and experiencing the spiritual pleasure that comes with it. By way of you connecting to the spiritual pleasure, you will be mentioned to Hashem, and Hashem himself also is connected to that spiritual pleasure, and we are not able to comprehend that. But when you're connected to the physicality of the thing, so to say, the physical food itself, so to say, you're very distant from Hashem. You're not connected to Hashem. You're connected to food, right? We want to be connected to everything that's behind it. That's in physicality, and that's also in spirituality. When you're doing a mitzvah, it feels good to do a mitzvah, but then there's also this inner seed of spiritual pleasure, spiritual delight that's in there, and that's where we want to be connecting to, because that's where Hashem also connects to in order to bring down that light to us. Bezat Hashem, this is our learning for the day.